from being hailed as the greatest prospect in NBA history to being shut down by Kendrick Perkins. Here's why Wembanyama's summer debut was disappointing. I've got to start by addressing the hype, because the French phenom got the entire NBA going bananas. ESPN called him the single greatest prospect in NBA history, and they're not the only ones singing praises. LeBron James, Chris Paul, and 200 NBA personnel were blown away when they saw the 7'4" giant in action. In the 2022 NBA draft, we had big names like Paolo Banchero and Chet Holmgren, but Wemby's on a whole other level. He moves like a guard, shoots threes like Curry, and defends the rim like Rudy Gobert. Did I mention he's got a wingspan of 7'9"? People were losing their minds over this guy, with scouts and executives drooling all over him before the 2023 NBA draft. Sure, there might be some worries about injuries with his unique frame, but he's the most talked about prospect since LeBron James in 2003. Scouts are saying he's a transcendent talent like Zion Williamson level. His long, lanky frame might raise some eyebrows, but this dude's ready to prove everyone wrong and has an insane skill set to do so. Wembanyama's shooting stroke is as smooth as butter, and he can score from practically anywhere. He can easily pull up for jumpers, splash threes, and even hit mid-range shots. Sure, his three-point shooting might need some work, and when he's out there on the floor, defenders don't know what hit him. He's a matchup nightmare with that size of his. Step back for a three? Check. Pull up for a jumper? Check. Or how about just shaking off his defender and driving straight to the rim? Big check. That's why some folks are comparing him to the likes of Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid. He's not only a scoring machine, but also a smooth ball handler, with mad skills bringing that ball up the court like a boss. And when the defense tries to collapse around him, he's got eyes in the back of his head. His court vision and passing are on point, making him a true playmaker, feeding his teammates with those sweet dimes. No wonder the dude dominated the French top division, as he played a total of 68 regular season games, with his teams winning 47 of them. Wemby's scoring prowess was evident, as he accumulated 1,009 points in BetClick Elite. His rebounding ability was equally impressive, securing 521 rebounds during his time in the league, while displaying versatility with 110 assists and a remarkable 166 blocks to his name. He did promise some from beyond the arc with 76 three-pointers, shooting only 28.6% from downtown, but he made up for it at the free throw line, boasting an excellent 80.7% success rate. One of Wembanyama's most memorable performances came on November 4th, 2022, against Limoges, where he had an outstanding all-around game, recording 33 points, including 3 three-pointers, along with 12 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 blocked shots. His efficiency rating that day was a remarkable 41. The scoring wasn't limited to that game, as he scored 30 points or more in 5 different games during his BetClick Elite career. But that ability wasn't showcased in his debut, which started out very dry, in front of a packed house at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. Victor scored only 9 points, grabbed 8 rebounds, and blocked 5 shots, which sounds kinda alright, but he shot only 2 of 13 from the field. And that's not what we expected from the single greatest prospect in NBA history. The game was a big deal, with the Summer League session selling out for the second time, in attendance with NBA legends like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Jerry West. ESPN couldn't get enough of Wemby, showing live look-ins during other games. Wembanyama missed his first few shots, including a dunk, but he scored a turnaround 5-footer. Things didn't improve much in the first half as he went 1 of 7 from the field and even missed all his three-point attempts. To make things worse, he found himself on the wrong side of a poster when the Hornets' Kai Jones threw down a monster dunk over him. And it didn't get better in the third quarter, as Victor didn't even attempt a shot, getting crossed up by Hornets rookie Brandon Miller. Finally, late in the fourth quarter, he sank a three-pointer, but it was a bit too late. Miller, who went number 2 overall in the draft, stole the show with 16 points and 11 rebounds, giving us insights into Wemby's weaknesses. The dude wowed everyone with 7 impressive three-pointers against the G League Ignite, scoring a whopping 37 points. But that performance gave a somewhat misleading impression of his shot-making abilities. In reality, Wemby struggled with his shots in the recent games. Last season, playing for Metropolitans 92 in France, he shot only 27.5% on 171 attempted three-pointers. And against the Hornets, those same shots were way off the mark, with one even resulting in an air ball and another hitting the backboard on the far side of the rim. But it's not all doom and gloom for the young talent. He made a three-pointer late in the game, drawing a foul for a 4-point play. But this shot came from a more conventional pick-and-pop play, not off the dribble. On the bright side, we can expect better shot making from Wemby inside the arc. Despite some unlucky bounces, he showed promise in taking on smaller defenders, coming close to making those shots off the dribble. But learning the ropes of the NBA floor is no easy feat for any rookie, and Wembanyama's no exception. While the court itself may not be drastically different from what he's used to in France, the size and athleticism of NBA defenders present new challenges for the young talent, especially when it comes to his dribbling game. During his debut, Wemby seemed a bit more cautious with the ball, thinking about his next move rather than flowing with a fluid style. This led to a couple of turnovers as he drove into crowded areas, narrowly escaping a few others as the Spurs quickly recovered. But these turnovers are all part of the learning process. As Wemby gains more experience and familiarity with NBA defenses, we can expect those turnovers to turn into positive plays, as he starts to understand when and how to attack defenses effectively. One aspect of his offensive game that stood out positively was his passing ability. He showed great vision and court awareness as he drove hard to the rim in transition, setting up his teammate Dominic Barlow for an impressive dunk with a well-timed left-handed pass. His ability to find rookie center Charles Bediako in the paint after a smooth crossover move on the perimeter was impressive, drawing a shooting foul on the play. As Wemby faces bigger opponents who'll likely be assigned to guard him, it'll create opportunities for him to draw defensive attention off the dribble. This will leave smaller help defenders scrambling. And Wembanyama's passing skills will become even more valuable, boosting the Spurs throughout the season, unless he wants to be chewed up by the fans. Wemby's debut in the NBA certainly stirred up a storm of reactions on social media, and while some fans showed understanding and support, acknowledging it was only one game and he needed time to adjust to the NBA level, others weren't so patient and forgiving. Fans didn't hold back, labeling him overhyped, overrated, and even a bust. They didn't hesitate to make harsh comparisons with other rookies, adding to the pressure on the young player, and it was even more embarrassing for ESPN, who hyped him so much before the debut at any chance they got. They were left hiding their faces as fans brought back clips of LeBron dominating his Summer League debut. In the middle of the mixed reactions, the Spurs organization tried to strike a positive note, expressing their belief in Wemby's talent and potential, and Wemby certainly didn't let them down, because during his second Summer League game, he showed the world why he was the #1 pick. He dominated the game with 27 points on 10 of 16 shooting, including 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. He also contributed 12 rebounds, 4 blocks, and 3 assists in just 28 minutes of play. It was an impressive performance that gave Spurs fans hope for his future in the NBA. But despite his standout showing, some NBA figures, like Perkins and Charles Barkley, offered cautionary remarks. Wemby made a controversial assessment, saying the NBA's less physical than European basketball, and was blasted by Perkins, who reminded him he hasn't yet faced the league's top-tier players like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Embiid, or Jokic. Barkley also sounded a note of caution, urging Wemby not to get too ahead with the hype, and emphasized the difference between the Summer League and the real NBA, where the competition and challenges are on a whole different level. So, from being shut down by Kendrick Perkins to being hailed as the greatest prospect in NBA history, that's why Wembanyama's summer debut was disappointing.